Let's take a look at what we're working on. That's not stock. A lot of people asking when I did 2 Fireflies, why didn't I do 3? And I thought about that a lot. And actually, what I come to realize is you can put a shelf across that. It was a great idea that Mike gave me. So I decided to put a shelf there, but if I put a shelf there, I'm going to be looking at this spot right here and say there's a piece of storage space that I can't use. Why didn't I put a battery there? So I put a battery there. So now we have 3 Fireflies. A couple other reasons to do it. I look as 2 is a requirement. 3 was a really nice to have. That 3rd battery does a couple of things for me. So we talked a lot about in my previous videos about power management and such. Well, the Firefly batteries are 116 amp hour batteries. What that means is over 20 hours from full to discharge, they would give you 116 amp hours, but that's assuming a 6 amp draw continuously through that 20 hours. What if I wanted 12 amps? What if I wanted 30 amps? Right? They're not going to last nearly as long. They just can't put out the current fast enough. When you pair them together, they're all working together. Right? So if I got 2 batteries, I can pull 12 amps away and stay within the 20 hour 116 amp hour limit. If I got 3, then I can do 18 amps between them. So at the 110 amp, pulling 10, 15 amps, it's not a big deal. If I want to run the hot water tank, it becomes a much larger deal. That hot water tank will pull 75 amps, so that would be 25 amps a piece between the 3 of them. Looking at Firefly spec sheets, that would be about 25 amps a battery, which is about a 3-hour run time. So I'll probably be able to get hot water with this battery setup. Now obviously with 225 amp hours usable on the batteries, I got to be able to dump the charge back into them. I don't run a portable generator on the boat. I either use the Yamaha, and I can idle the engine and get 20 to 30 amps an hour on idle. And next up is we're going to do the solar panel. So we got stores. I got a shelf to build down there, get that laid in, and then have that for dry stores, and get the solar panel upgraded. We're going to do a couple of 200 watt panels, get 400 watts total, and that should pretty much make us self-sufficient for electrical underway, which was what our entire objective was, right? The battery setup that came with the boat was fine. What we've come to learn about ourselves is we're heavy power users, and I don't want to do less while I'm on the boat. I don't want to care. I want to have the VHF radio on when I'm at anchor. I want to have the XM stereo, listening to music.
Watch a movie.
I want to watch a movie. I just don't want to care about electrical. And the solar panel will put back in the engine idle when it's dark and dreary on those kind of days and overnight, and then have enough battery capacity that I should be able to last 2 overnights in the dark with this on our normal usage that we would have.
And just in case somebody hasn't watched the first video about that, why did we go with Firefly?
The reason we went with Firefly battery is a great question. Is they're as close to lithium as one can get without actually buying lithium. So a conventional AGM battery is not going to want you to take it below 60% depth of discharge. A conventional AGM battery is going to last about 600 charge cycles of depleted to charge. Conventional AGMs aren't going to like being left at a discharge state. Say they're 50% used for a long period of time. Once they get used, they're going to want to get recharged. Fireflies don't suffer from any of those problems. I can run Fireflies all the way to 0 and do that 600 cycles before I would kill them. They don't recommend you do that because 600 cycles is what you'd get with other batteries. Instead, Firefly says run them to 80% depth of discharge, which is 20% more than you would a conventional AGM battery. So there's 20% more capacity, and you can do that 1,100 times. So I'll get twice the life expectancy out of the Firefly batteries. I'll get 20% more capacity. These 3 Firefly batteries together is the equivalent of having 5 of the conventional AGMs that the boat came with. So I'm getting more and less space for the same, for less weight even to do that. So that's why I went with Firefly. And because they're classified an AGM battery, they don't require anything extra on the boat. They're basically drop-ins, right? Drop-in replacements. I don't have to change any other battery chargers or anything like that. Speaking of battery charger, however, I will say, because it's 225 amp hours, the battery charger that came with the boat is a 20 amp ABSO charger, which now makes that undersized for this battery bank. So I added a second battery charger. I actually I stuck it right in here on the side, and I actually plugged it into the grill outlet. So I have to actually pop this corner open. There's a little safety switch in there that keeps that outlet from working when the grill's in, but that lets me turn on the 25 amp charger there with the ABSO, give me 45 amps to be able to charge the house bank. So when I come back from sea and I know the batteries, you know, are depleted or close to depleted, I can get 45 amps in to not undercharge them grossly. And that's why we did the Fireflies.
As always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell for notifications so you get notified when I post a new video. And if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below, and we will get back to you. And stay tuned for more channel surfing.